All right, I'm back. See, not frozen. All right, gonna have to figure that out. If you missed the beginning of the last stream, my laptop died, which where I normally do my lives from, and I've had a PC built for quite some time. I just haven't switched everything over. Switched it this morning, and everything was going good, but then just decided to, yeah. Gotta love technology, right? All right, that's gonna be fun for people to watch later. Did they freeze again? Okay. Now I'm going to, I didn't get too far, so I just stamped the other two stamps. And then I'm going to add the embossing powder. This is super fine white embossing powder from Ranger. There we go. I think with this one I can see it, so I'm going to add that little viney bit there. Take these off. Thanks everybody for coming back. Hopefully I don't freeze again. Maybe I'll do a video. Maybe I'll take these lives down and do a video or something, because no one's going to be wanting to watch two separate lives. All right. I think I got it good. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming back. So sorry about that. Sometimes you can't control technology. All right, now I'm going to heat set this. All right, and I love that even though I overlapped the stamps, it doesn't really matter because of how the stamps are designed. Looks really, really cool. Put this aside, and I am going to go back in, add some more. Look at how that brightens up with just a little bit of water. Some more color here, just because. Okay. Man, our AC is cranking today. How hot is it? I don't know how hot it is. I bet it's pretty hot. All right, this one is Rusty Hinge. The first one was Speckled Egg. And maybe darken up those edges a little bit, although I will be adding some, I'll be blending some ink around the edges. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Water here. There we go. All right, I'm going to let this dry on its own just for a second while I pick out my stamps that I'm going to be using. Close my Versamark. All right, so this is the new eccentric set. And I'm just going to pull a few off here. Like this one, this one. I use several. And all right, that's good. And then what I also did was I took these stamps, and so what I did was I took this one here and I inked up just the text part of it with ground espresso. Okay, and then I'm just going to stamp it. And this is a little wet still, so it's going to bleed just a little bit, which is what I want. This is where you can take a look at your existing stamps and dies and things and see how you can use them in a different way. Because I love adding text. So you don't need every single stamp set, right? All right, I'm going to come down here, add a little bit there. All right, I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see, hopefully, all of that cool text all over. All right, not done yet because we're going to add more stamping. And I don't use a block for this. I think I added a little bit too much ground espresso again. All right, I'm going to take this 5. I really like this 5. And I'm going to put it down here this time. And right there. I added way too much ground espresso. See what I told you? I told you that that would happen, that it wouldn't turn out the same. All right, we're just using little stamps here and there just to add, even in these darker areas, it might show up just a little bit. And every layer counts. I'm going to add this one here and here. Let's see, I like this. These are really great just to kind of add little elements here and there. I actually want maybe this one. Probably going overboard. All right, I think that's good. Maybe one more. Okay. There we go. All right, where is my tag? There it is. Yeah, see, I added way more. I thought I added a lot on this one, but I added way more on this one. So you could see the difference here. Okay. And it covered up all that cool Crackling, Campfire, and Rusty Hinge. So if you're doing this, just keep that in mind. I do need, it looks too perfect in the center, so I am going to add a little bit of Rusty Hinge splatters. There we go. going to set this. I'm not going to do the sewing today, just because wouldn't be able to see it anyways. But I did sew on this one just a little bit here, and then I stitched that together right there. All right, now is the fun part. Here it is. All right, so we're going to add some micro glaze, maybe. There it is. I thought I took it off. All right, if you don't have distressed micro glaze, you're definitely missing out. I didn't know what all the hype was about until I got some and used it for myself. All right, so we're going to take the micro glaze on a dome blending tool and just add it on to here. It seals it, not like artist grade sealing or anything, but it seals it in place and it brightens everything up, and it adds this really crazy depth to all of that color. And you don't need a lot at all. Okay, that's it. All right, next. Yes, so micro glaze over the whole project, and you want to make sure that you do your embossing, stamping, even if you're going to use like rub-ons or anything that you're going to do beforehand, because nothing is going to stick to the top. Even like this acrylic spray, it sticks, but if I were to rub my finger over top, and Carol, I'll show you, like my fingernail, it'll come off. But I mean, who's going to be doing that, right? It's not just going to fall off, but it will come off fairly easy. But I like to add the white splatters over top of the distressed glaze, because then they stay a little bit more stark white, if that makes sense. All right, again, I take the nozzle off, and starting in the center and working my way out. This got really dark. All right, and then I don't have any in the nozzle, but that's okay. There we go. Just like that. And you really don't want to heat set this anymore, just because it is like waxy almost. So yeah, and then I did these already, although I wish I didn't add so much. Then they just kind of blend in too much, but I want to add that. And I'm also going to be adding some inking around the edge. Although it doesn't need it, but I just feel like just to finish it off. Okay. And I'm also going to add inking to this as well. And it's hard to find a glue that will stick to the microglaze. I actually like to use Collage Medium, or but today I'm going to use these Zots. Regular liquid adhesive isn't going to work on top of the microglaze. I have these, and these seem to work pretty good. Haven't tested them long term yet, but because I'm not going to be doing any sewing, so we're going to put that there. And then this one here, and then this there. And there we go. Put that over just a tad bit. think the stitching adds a lot to it. And of course, it's too dark, but what can you do now, right? This is one of his new stamps as well. Any questions before I get going? Okay, so once you put the microglaze on, you're done. Pretty much, yes. You can't add any more sprays or I really haven't tried stamping on top, but I don't think that it would really work even with like a stays on or anything like that. I think it would just take too long to dry. You definitely don't want to do any embossing over it, anything like that. So it's pretty much the last step besides the splatters. If you want the splatters, you can always add the splatters underneath the microglaze, but the distress spray will react. They'll react together, so you won't get such stark white splatters. You can always use watered down gesso if you want as well. What do you do with your tags? Keep them in a bin. Glaze is not embossing powder. No, it is not. The glaze is almost like, the best way I can describe it is like Vaseline. It's like waxy, but it dries matte. It's not glossy. I used it with this tool here. I like to use a dome, and then what I do is I just stick it in here, twist it, and then kind of get the excess off. And then if I feel I need to still, then I'll just kind of tap it on and it doesn't matter if it's dirty. I don't care. Shouldn't surprise you. I hope that helps. How did you do the background? Okay, so Kathy, this is actually a two-parter because my last stream froze, so I had to restart. But you can definitely catch the first one. I'll have it linked after this. And if you want to learn even more mixed media techniques, be sure to click the video right here. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all later. Bye.